Order in the court, or should we say disorder in the court. This is the Charles Van Morgan Show. Welcome, welcome. I'm Bridal News. Today we're going to continue our defense against the Tennessee Judiciary. I'm Charles Van Morgan, a educated person with a JD, and I'm going to present my case, albeit unlicensed because dirty courts and dirty judges, present my case for you, dangerously for my safety, so be glad I'm here, against the Tennessee Judiciary that are lapdogs, that are against you. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Come on in. We appreciate it. So we're going to continue to present our case with some court documents, some lies in court rulings where people testified to lies under oath. Please make necessary moderator. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Come on in. Charles Van Morgan. Interesting show today. Got a lot of court documents we're going to show where state officials lie. They lie. And judges are lapdogs. They're fools and lapdogs. They approve it. So we can do that. So thank y'all. Welcome. Come on in. Look at this beautiful American flag. And we don't want to keep down freedom of speech, so anybody can say anything they want to other than violent speech. And come on in maybe tomorrow and we'll do that, Mr. Pratt Tinger. So we'll have to figure out how to do that. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. Beautiful, beautiful American flag. We're talking about lapdogs, fools and lapdogs. We're talking about the crooked, corrupt, for the most part, Tennessee Judiciary. And we're going to bring our evidence to prosecute them because they're persecuting you. They're persecuting and falsely prosecuting you in the great state, greater without them in power, of Tennessee. And this happens all over the world. It happened in the state of Colorado, where we'll show you a judicial corrupt ruling. Wow. Yeah. So there's a police car. I don't know what he's doing that for. He's getting ready to make a traffic stop, I guess. So yeah, wanting to let me know he's here. That's the Knoxville County Sheriff's deputy. When you break traction on your wheels, that's called reckless driving. But you know, we got a sheriff's election coming up, but I guess they can drive however they want to. He's trying to get home after a night of sleeping on the job, I reckon. I don't know. But yeah, so the government hates me. People in government power, the lapdogs and fools, hate me because I am presenting a legal, ethical, moral, truthful, in accordance with the Ten Commandments, not bearing false witness, bearing truthful witness against people, the judiciary in the state of Tennessee, that is bearing false witness. That's what they're doing. So we're going to present that case today, lay it out for you with pictures, graphs, evidence, and a story that tells you how you're being mistreated by the Tennessee Judiciary in the corrupt, crooked government, state of Tennessee. The people aren't corrupt, but the government is. The lapdogs, the judges, the people have the authority to put you in jail, and they do. They put thousands in jail, allowed them to unlawfully in the past few years. That's been well documented. So I am asking you, don't sit this upcoming election out in Tennessee in 2026. Not for my good. This is actually very dangerous for me. You see the sheriff's deputy wanting to spin his wheels, wanting to let me know I'm here, you know, by trying to scare me, subliminally spinning his tires, you know. Go ahead, spin it, you know, that's reckless driving. We got it on tape. And, but I'm standing up and fighting for you, being the front man And I'm not stupid, behind cover, doing the best I can to protect myself. This is dangerous business. Don't fool yourself. It's dangerous business. This might be your only chance to take a wrecking ball to these people in government power symbolically to clean house, because it's a self-perpetuating crooked system with the parties that promote people, and people get elected to public office, and we're going to show you how, and then they commit crimes against humanity. It's dangerous for the world. It's dangerous for the United States. It's dangerous for the state of Tennessee with their crooked, corrupt rulings that benefit them, and they're gluttonous. The decisions that they make don't even really benefit them. They're so gluttonous. I mean, they overpower, overeat, make rulings against their own interests sometimes. That's why they're fools and they're lapdogs. They're subservient to the political bosses that have votes. That's what they lie to people to get their votes. And they put them in power to serve a small group of people that live off your tax money. Quite frankly, they live off your demise. I'm the only candidate, Charles Van Morgan, unbridled news. And that's just one area of attack. A legitimate legal attack is getting on the ballot. There's several fronts we're fighting, and we have to do that in order to be successful. A war is hell, and that's what we're giving them. Now, we're not fighting a violent war. We're doing it legally, peacefully, non-violently, according to the Constitution, exercising our constitutional rights. The problem arises, and I'll show you, not with us, not with peaceful Charles Van Morgan unbridled news, candidate fighter for you, the mass populace. The problem is with the fools and lapdogs. Frankly, truthfully, they are violent and they are dangerous. And that's why you should help me in this effort to fight for you, because that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm fighting for you. Did that all my life. I'm the only son of a widow. I didn't have any brothers to fight with and for me. I didn't have a father. I had a God-fearing mother that fought for me and taught me how to fight for myself. You don't need a lot of help. It's good if you do. It'd be better if you did. But you can do it with shoestrings. Sometimes you got to lift yourself up, and that's what we're doing. And I'm lifting myself up for you to bring the mass populace with me. I've been trained. I know. I've been in the government. I know how dirty they are. I've been burned by the government. Got scars to prove it. These other candidates and these other people, these other pundits that spread false information, some of them spread the truth. They don't have the scars. They don't have the knowledge. They ain't been there, seen that, and got punished for it. I have been. I know. I don't trust people in government power. Some of them are honest, but they have to go along to get along. I trust the people in the state of Tennessee for the most part, and not even all the people, but enough of you to lift us out to beat the parties. Now let me say a word about this little, quite frankly, a lot of idiots in the city of Knoxville. Yeah, I'm here and I live here, and I'll say that because I'm pretty brave. I don't fear man, but I'm on the ballot for governor, and we don't play by their rules. You don't play by their rules and win. I'm not saying break the law. They break the law. If you want to play by their rules, then you'd have to break the law. We don't play, and I don't play by their rule book. I know what their rule book is. It doesn't apply to them. It only applies to you, to keep you in line for them to win every time. And this little city here in Knoxville, so corrupt and crooked, has been historically. And they have in this city, not all of them, I've got some good friends, have to hide behind concealment and cover, because if they back me and support me, they'll get demoralized, hung out to dry in their life. They'll attempt to destroy their life. So of course they have to keep quiet, and I don't blame them. But I've got a lot more supporters than what they know about silently, secretly, and I appreciate that. Thank you all Knoxvillians who support this movement for you, and you understand, you get it, but a lot of them, for the most part, don't. And the people in power in this last election, this is why they're fools and we're not. They're stupid and we're not. But we don't play by their rules. Let me explain this little concept that is too deep for them. Hopefully my followers will. And we'll explain this concept and talk to you about the fools. Numerous fools in the city of Knoxville. Numerous lapdogs. Numerous foolish voters in the city of Knoxville. I'm here and I'm saying that because it's the truth. I'm not afraid of people. I'm not running a popularity contest. I'm really not. There's a lot of people I'm not popular with. I don't care. You know, I'm 6'2", 240 pounds. I didn't get a scratch on me when I arrested more drunk drivers in the city. You attack me and it'll be a bad day for you. I assure you of that. Please don't do that. If you do, you know, that's my thing. That's my game. What do you think I'm doing right now? Handing out roses? No, I'm handing out judgment and law to people in public power. So we'll explain this concept about the fools and lapdogs here in the city, and we're going to talk about the judiciary. Let me explain this real important concept. All my followers and people on here, if you can grasp it, amen. If you can't, tell me and I'll explain a little deeper. But this is a little ideal. But if you want to hear somebody fight the state, you won't hear this stuff anywhere else, I assure you. None of my truthful messaging that you will hear from anybody else. It's too damn dangerous. But there are people set aside, called, that's their forte, that's their mission, that's their job, that's their life dream, they're happy doing it. Although it's not safe, they're called warriors and fighters. They're very dangerous, not in a violent way, to the elite establishment. For you, that'd be me. So, if you want us to stay, there's no guarantee, no guarantees at all. Then like, share, and subscribe to this channel. It could go away. This is a real fight. This is a real war. Just as serious, maybe even more than what's going on in Afghanistan or what's going on in Iran right now and what did go on in Afghanistan in the past. You know, we left millions of dollars of military weaponry there. This is a war. Now let me, for the FBI, I know they're listening, TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Knox County Sheriff's Department, you've seen them spin their tires. They're listening to me. I'm not saying anything illegal. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm speaking the truth about them. It's called a First Amendment right, but you don't have that right if you speak truth about them because they want their little elite group to continue to stay in power so they can use you. But we're not doing anything illegal. We're speaking the truth to power out front. You won't hear this from any other candidate because they won't get elected if they don't bow down and kiss their ring. They got a lot of lies. I mean, a lot of votes. But we got more. A hell of a lot more if I can wake people up to take over your government for you. This is just one front getting on the governor's race. Win or lose, we win. We get the message out. We make it harder for them to kill you. Quite frankly, I did say just exactly what I said. I think about what I say, and if I say it, I really mean it. It's not fluff, hyperbole. It is the exact truth, and I can back it up with facts and evidence. I am telling you very directly, as I know how, and a lot of you get it, that we are fighting the corrupt, the fools and lapdogs in the judiciary and the Tennessee government that run over you, that mistreat you, and could possibly create an environment, as they already have, that will kill you or have you or your family put in jail. This battle, this fight, legitimately, not with violence, with attrition, which means we keep going on many fronts, keep attacking, don't pay attention to the score. They keep the score. The score's not correct. Don't worry about the score. We're not playing on their rules. I know what their score is. I'll tell you what their score is. It's wrong. It's bad wrong. We're not paying attention to their score. Their scores are their elections. They work for them, don't they? I'm not paying attention to their elections. So we had people in Knoxville by the hundreds. Most people sat it out to their own demise, which, fortunate for me, I didn't want to I was willing to serve, but I didn't want to give my JD, my Master of Arts in Sociology, away for pennies with a city council race. But the party bosses, Republicans and Democrats both, got together and heard my, what they call rhetoric, what I call the truth. They can call it anything they want to. They're lapdogs, subservient to the parties. They heard my truthful messaging, so they went after me, kept the vote count down against me. All kinds of horrific things, lies they posted up about me to keep me out of public office. And there's a lot of fools here in Knoxville. And I'm going to say this, I don't care, it's the truth. Some of the dumbest people in this city, some of the most stupid people in the city of Knoxville. Yeah, I'm saying that. Broadcast worldwide, Knoxville, you're some of the dumbest people. I'm just saying that's the truth. I hate to say that, but I mean, look at what they did in the last gubernatorial election. They voted for a woman because of her color. So they're racist here in the city of Knoxville at alarming rates. Wow. One that is on my Facebook page attacking me. How stupid is that? How stupid is that? You're not going to get anywhere with me. Listen, criminal, and she is a criminal. She's been convicted of misdemeanor crimes where she is a harasser, and they allege that with me. But is there any conviction? Is there any proof of that? Where's the body camera with the lies they told? Where's any video of me doing anything wrong? It's not there. They just lied. They wanted to paint the picture of me like her, but she got thousands more votes in this city than Charles Van Morgan did. And the only thing I've done with my life is the number count, not the vote count, the number count of lives saved on Tennessee roadways is higher than the number of votes that I got. But that's their score. Their score's the number of votes. I count by the number of lives saved, the important things. And so they tried to beat us down with stupid people in the city of Knoxville. I'll say that. Not every one of y'all. Thank you all so much for everyone that got the message, that get concepts, that can understand beyond sheep, that you just listen to what you're told and believe the almighty power, the fools and lapdogs that are trying to keep themselves in power, because they know if I get in power, I will take a wrecking ball. Symbolically, I'm trying to make sure they don't get leverage to arrest me and try to charge me in court with saying, oh, he threatened violence. No, politics and what we're doing is civilized warfare. It means we don't use violence. We don't hit them over the head with a rock. We tell the truth about them that affects them adversely, because it's the truth that demoralizes them justifiably. And that's what we're doing. And that's what we're going to do to the Tennessee judiciary today. We're going to tell how immoral, how false, how lying the rules are, showing you black and white pictures of evidence, how they just lie about things, ask you to believe something that's totally false. So the concept, we're not playing with the same rules that they play by. They want us to keep their scorebook. Their scorebook is false. I don't believe it for 10 seconds. I don't believe that Tennesseans believe that things are going right for you. I don't believe that you all think the government is just and fair for the mass millions of Tennesseans. I believe that we can tip the scales in the truth's favor, because the truth has weight and value, and lies go away. They're hard to keep. Too many loops to jump. So their scoreboard here in Knoxville, I got less votes than a convicted felon when I run here in the city of Knoxville, where they got a bunch of stupid people that love the status quo, like a violent candidate more than somebody that saves lives. And they expect me to accept that. They expect Tennesseans to accept that. I don't accept that. That's not my scoreboard. That's not the truth. That's their truth, which is a dirty lie, which they tell to their followers, they tell to their voters every day the parties, the Republicans and the Democrats, the Republicans and the Democrats. If you're not familiar with their real term, their slang term is Republican. Their real name is Republican. The Democrats is their slang name. Their real name is Democrats. And I don't represent either one of them. Now, there's good in both parties. The mass populace of people, there's good people. And people say, Van, you're running down voters in Knoxville. Yeah, I am. That's their scoreboard. If they're stupid and they hurt the mass populace of people in Knoxville, then I'll tell the truth. I'll tell the truth. That's my scoreboard. My scoreboard is how much truth did you tell? And I literally believe, I still believe, that we can get elected to public office by telling the truth. I think that's entirely possible. Now, their scoreboard is, no, you can't. Look at the vote count you got in Knoxville. You got less votes than a convicted felon that dangerously drove at a high rate of speed and endangered Tennesseans. That had a felony conviction on his record, got more votes than me. Because the party bosses didn't attack him, so they're showing me my score. Here's your score, man. Never run again for public office. Well, if I play by their rule book, we'll never get anywhere. They're never get anywhere. So their scoreboard, and they'll spread this all across Tennessee. They've even printed it in the paper, printed on the front page of the paper. Losing candidate. Well, you keep your score, you fake lying news. I'm not losing anything. I have never lost any election. By your count, I have, because of your defile, sick, sinister, pathetic acts. As far as getting information out, spreading a truthful message, fighting for Tennesseans, doing God's will. I'm on mission. I'm on mission. You know, you thought your scoreboard would end the game. The game's not over. Let me give you a little clue. TBI, FBI, and the FBI is a little better in this current administration, and Knox County Sheriff. You know, you just seen them spin their tires subliminally. We're out here. We know you're out here, Van. Yeah, okay. Does it look like I'm afraid? And some of the Knoxville Police Department's good people. The Knoxville Police Department, I know they're listening. And I'm not threatening anybody. I'm not dangerous to anybody. I'm speaking freedom of speech in the public. That's my right under the Constitution. That's what soldiers fight for. I'm going to do that. You don't have to like it. If you stop me from doing that, you're a sick, pathetic person. It's been done before. You're stepping on the rights. You're stepping on the blood of soldiers that fought for my right to stand out here and say stuff that you disagree with. Now, I hate that for you. You say stuff that I disagree with every day in a public forum. You've lied yourself all the way to public office and public power and mistreating a mass populace of millions and millions of Tennesseans that I believe I might be able to wake up, and I'm not playing, and this is the concept, I'm not playing by your scoreboard. Your scoreboard doesn't work for me. I don't agree with that either. And although I got less votes in the city of Knoxville, wonderful city, a lot of stupid people that vote. One of them, college professor I met, said he was voting for such and such. Yeah, and I mean, somebody that wasn't from here, hadn't even been here that long, and you know, selling out to the party. A UT professor, you know, I've got a degree from UT that explained to me from logic, knowledge, and education that you don't have to play by their scoreboard because their scoreboard is wrong. So you give me the least votes in the city of Knoxville, and I still believe that I should have won. You would have had a wonderful choice. I don't agree with the votes. I think it was a rigged election. I know more people that voted for me than I got votes. So how does that add up? It doesn't add up. It's false. And so I don't keep your scoreboard. And we can still win all across Tennessee. What their scoreboard means, literally, is that there's a lot of stupid people, and I'm saying it. It's called the truth. It doesn't scare me. You can't stop David. He's throwing the rock. You can intimidate him. That's what the giant tried to do. You know, insult David. He knew what he was doing. He wasn't afraid. He knew that he was trained to do what he's doing. He was going to be very effective, and it was going to go down the way he thought. This is going to go down the way we thought. We're going to advance the movement to protect Tennesseans, little children, the elderly, the healthcare situation. We're going to shine a spotlight on their dirty corruption. We're going to make it more difficult for them to go in a courtroom in a judge's robe and adjudicate falsehoods against you. We're going to paint a broad picture of how crooked they are. They're not ruling correctly. We're not delegitimizing them. We're not speaking evil of them. What I'm doing is speaking of the evil that they're doing. So if they want me to not have any ammunition, stop giving it to me. Adjudicate correctly, and I'll brag on you. But they're not going to do that until they get symbolically, be careful, they'd love to put me in jail, already have, put me in the hospital, symbolically annihilated. And that's what the mission is. Their scoreboard by propaganda is, you're not doing any good. You're not getting any votes. You got very little. That's our scoreboard. Does it look like that I obey that scoreboard? No. What I say is this, that people in Knoxville, a lot of them are stupid. That's my scoreboard. Just because you got a lot of stupid people in this stupid, a lot of people in the city, and I'm saying that, and a politician saying that, that's what I say. Not that I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. There's a lot of Knoxvillians are stupid. They follow the Republican Party here in Knoxville and the Democrat Party, Republican Party and the Democrat Party. See, got a bunch of people in here. And they're dumb as doorknobs. I mean, I would be lying and would be remiss in my responsibilities under God if I didn't say that. Just because people are stupid, a lot of people that voted are stupid, doesn't bother me, doesn't affect my mission. It just gives me a little advance intel that Knoxville has a lot of stupid voters. That's just the truth. But there's more voters out there, if you wake up, will topple their little fiasco that would rather vote for a dangerous, violent people, which is exactly what happened, rather than a candidate that has saved lives here in the very city of Knoxville, that has protected society better and more than anybody. Now, that's the truth. I know they're propaganda. I know you can type my name in Google and all the trash, lies, falsehoods, propaganda that comes up. Why are they putting all that on there? Why did they attack me so much when I ran for city council here in Knoxville? Because I'm dangerous to their establishment that keeps them in power, that fools the public. They fool the public. So a lot of the public's stupid. Dumb as doorknobs here in the city of Knoxville. That's the concept. That's the score I got when I don't get many votes. Because we're telling the truth. I know I'm telling the truth. David knew he was fighting for his country. He was fighting for Israel. He didn't worry about what the giant said. I don't worry about what stupid voters say here in the city of Knoxville. The ones that were stupid enough to vote against me. And they're stupid. They're dumb as doorknobs. I'm speaking to you. I'm not afraid of you. You know, I'm telling you what I think. You can tell me what you thought. You told me how stupid you were. You showed me how stupid and dumb you were. That's the scoreboard that I keep. Now, the scoreboard they want me to keep is, you can never win anything. You can never do any good. No one's listening to you. That's the scoreboard that they want me to keep. And that works well for them. Keeps a lot of people down that are weak, that are lapdogs. And I could go apologize to the Republican Party for what? I could lie and make something up, make them feel good, and they might not kick me as hard under their fat leader here in Knoxville that's got maybe 12 views on his video. Nobody's listening to a damn liar. People are listening to me. And I want to thank you. And we're going to talk about the judiciary on our way to our pulpit to speak about the dirty judiciary in Tennessee, the lapdogs, with proof and evidence and pictures, black and white. Tell you what they say, and then show you black and white pictures. They're lying. They're liars here in the state of Tennessee. Dirty judiciary. Who says that? So you want a candidate that praises the judiciary, that says they rule for all Tennesseans, and they're great, and I might get some votes out of people that are foolish, but I'm not really concerned about really getting a bunch of foolish people's votes that expect favors in return. I'm really concerned about the safety protection well-being of little children who can't vote. I'm concerned about the safety and protection of the handicapped. I'm concerned about the safety and health protection and well-being of the elderly. I'm concerned about the safety, health protection, and well-being of our young people that are in our universities, that your degree means nothing, or your hard work and dedication, whatever your job, means nothing, that they breadcrumb you to maintain power and keep control over you. It's called conflict. People form groups. Groups fight for limited resources. These people in the Republican and Democratic Party are small groups that are full of propaganda fighting for your resources. And you and me need to fight back and annihilate them symbolically, FBI and TBI, and regain power in the state of Tennessee and play by our own rule book. Play by our own rules. Don't even play on their playing field. You'll never win. You'll never win. It's a new day. It's a new way. The new day and new way is your way, not theirs. Your way as in the government that will serve you, people that will meet with you in your cities and listen and answer your questions and provide government services, provide resources. The government is your government. It's your resource. It's a forum, publicly funded institution that should represent you and your interest and what you want. And there's about 8 million people in the state of Tennessee that are being left out of the government resources. They breadcrumb you enough to keep your vote. They're not truly interested in serving the mass Tennesseans. So a government that doesn't play by their scorebook, doesn't play by their rules, it's not concerned about their vote count that's obviously rigged and designed to annihilate, humiliate me. That didn't work. It hasn't worked at all, and it's not going to work. It's never going to work, because it's a mission that will be accomplished with small increments of accomplishment every day. We get more views, more attention, more public outcry, more uncovering the atrocities of this people in this government every day for the benefit of the mass populace, who's the government's supposed to represent you in the first time place, but it doesn't. What they have is lies and propaganda. And the reason that they're trying to demoralize and annihilate me is because I'm fighting for you. And they know if I were ever to win public power, and we don't have to necessarily win public power to put a huge dent in their little corrupt model, then I will bring a wrecking ball and a lot of their lies and false propaganda that serves only them, that maintains their only power, keeps them and their friends and their family, their little clique in power, that I will annihilate that. And I will give all Tennesseans a fair, equal chance under the Constitution, which says that everyone has rights, no matter who you are in the state of Tennessee. So we're on our way to the signature location. Beautiful view, and I've got a lot of leaflets and notes and evidence and pictures that I got. What we're going to do, unheard of. You know, you have a lawyer go in a courtroom and defend his client and present his evidence in favor of his client, and attempts to refute the evidence, fights the state prosecutor, and the state prosecutor always wins 90% of the time, or even more than that, I believe. Or they work out a deal in favor to the people in power, because it's rigged that way. You don't have a shot in the Tennessee courtroom. You might as well hang it up. They're going to win. And the prosecutor presents his case. Got a judge sitting there, a jury there. The prosecutor presents his case against the defendant who's sitting there in handcuffs. And the only person being persecuted and prosecuted is the sole defendant there. He's got his wife telling him to plead guilty, make a deal, even if he's innocent. He's got his lawyer sitting there telling him to plead guilty, even if he's innocent, work a deal. He's got the judge against him, telling him that he has all these rights, checking a box, but he's really not giving his real rights, just checking a box and obeying the party leadership that has to put so many people in jail to allege that they're fighting crime. And all these people stacked up against you, and you may be, quite frankly, very high likelihood to be in that situation. And when you are, it will be too late, because Charles Van Morgan tried to protect you, and that's what I'm trying to do. And there's millions of you. They're building new jails, building them bigger, trying to lock you up. The sheriff's race, in the sheriff's department race the other day, they campaigned on building a bigger jail, building bigger jails. That jail is not for criminals. And let me assure you, it's not for criminals. The bigger jail they're building is for you. It's for you to go to jail. That's why they're building bigger jails, for the people that won't go along to get along, or people when they need a number. I mean, there's 2,500 people they admit, which is the tip of the iceberg, that they put in jail in the state of Tennessee in the past few years that were unlawfully arrested. They won't even admit that. They say, well, some of them out of those 2,500 were intoxicated, even though no drugs that the TBI tested were in their system. They arrested 2,500 people. It's all over the United States, all over the world, all over Tennessee, how dangerous this government is. And they've admitted 2,500 people that they arrested for drunk driving under the influence, were not impaired by drugs or alcohol. And they back out of it by saying, well, they might have been guilty. You might have been guilty, or you may still be guilty, even though all evidence points against. This is the finger pointed at you. It's just not pointed at those 2,500 people. I'm telling you, Tennesseans, been there, done that, lived through it, got scars over it, seen how crooked they are. It's blatant in your face, and they stand there, something that you're looking at very clearly. You can see it with your own eyes, and they tell you that that is not true, what you're actually seeing in real time with your own eyes. They will do that to you in a Tennessee courtroom and lock you up for something that you did not do, weren't even in the state sometimes, or whatever, for whatever purpose they want to. That's how much control they have over the power structures right now, the fools and lapdogs. And it is that serious. That's why I'm here. Hello, Charles Van Morgan. If you like this message for you, subscribe to the channel, like and share. You won't hear this from, I'm a candidate on the ballot for the governor's race. You won't hear this message. You'll hear people that get along to go along to get elected. You won't hear somebody that fights these people in power that intentionally go after me to keep my vote count down. Because if I want to get elected, I got to be part of the fools and lapdogs. Well, guess what? I'm not going to do that. I sincerely believe, with all my heart, and justifiably believe, that you can get elected to public office representing the mass populace of Tennessee. Over 5 million people didn't vote. Millions of other people voted wrong. They needed to hear this message. They didn't hear it before because they locked me up during the campaign and wouldn't let me spread the message. This is a country where we have a First Amendment, where they're allowed to campaign and say anything against me they want to, but I can't speak about them. Are you not going to hear the other side? Do they not want the other side? I mean, it's for you to decide. You got a rational mind. A lot of people do, except for some of the stupid people in the city of Knoxville. Can't you decide whether or not I'm saying it's true or not? They won't even let me say it. You just seen that sheriff's deputy spin his tires. We're out here. Shut up, Van. You seen him approach me on the bridge the other day, trying to shut me up. I've got a right to speak. It's called the First Amendment. It's a marketplace of ideals. They don't want this ideal out. This ideal is a truthful ideal. That people in government power are a small group of people. And I learned this from the University of Tennessee, science, logic, and math, with a degree there. Their leader here has his name on the building. It didn't go to school there. I've got an education, I know, and I've lived through stuff. The ideal that the government is controlled by a small group of people that do favors, give favors, maintain power, and live in the government, live off people, and lie. Politicians lie. And specifically, I'll tell you what they lie about. Show you pictures and evidence and prosecute these people for the lies that they're telling. Now that's not controversial. I knocked on 40,000 doors. I talk to people every day. They believe the government is corrupt. So why am I getting in trouble, sanctioned, punished for saying that? Because it's the truth, and it's hard to dispel when it's so blatant in your face. And I am the only candidate, and also not just a candidate, a civil pro se litigant, not filing frivolous suits. I haven't ever filed that many, very few. None of them had ever been considered frivolous. They might this time, just so they can teach me a lesson. They got a lot of judges in their pocket. I hope not. But they got the judiciary in their pocket, a lot of them. Not all of them, a lot of them. And there are a lot of judiciary that hope and pray that I get elected or that I make a dent in their dirty corruption, because they don't like it either. And there's nothing they can do about it. They'll get annihilated if you fight these crooks in power. So that's not a novel ideal, that the government is corrupt. People don't spell it out and aren't emphatic about it and aren't as upfront and aren't willing to lose an election over being honest and truthful. And if I lose an election, so be it. So be it. I won't bear false witness against the liars in public power. And people that have jobs in the government, I'm not going to damage you. It's not your fault that your boss is a crook and a thief and buys the judiciary. That's not your fault, so you don't have to be afraid. So we are fighting these people, fighting public corruption in the government, and we're going to bring our case to the citizens of Knoxville. Redo it again, retry it again. We had a mistrial. This time we're on the ballot for governor. It was a mistrial. We're going to try it again, bring some more evidence, Knoxvillians. The stupid people got a chance to change your vote and be unstupid and be smart. And some of you are afraid. Don't be afraid. Nobody sees who you're voting for. Nobody knows who you're voting for. Do it secretly. If if people have different callings. I don't expect everybody to join the front line. I expect you to vote for your children and take care of them, which is what the government doesn't do. I will. And don't vote for creeps and thugs. You know they're creeps and thugs when they got a road named after them, like a military hero, when they're still alive and in public office. The government's building them up to get votes, to get elected to high office, acting like they're good people. They're not good people. They're thugs, creeps, and criminals. So what I'm saying is not controversial. They hate it because it's the truth. It might kick them out of power. But that you have a courtroom with a suspect that's got everybody against him, and his defense lawyer is owned by the judge, owned by the prosecutor. So he's got nobody. He knows he didn't do it, or even if he did, he knows he shouldn't get the penalty that they're going to that they want to pound the flesh for something that's minor. Want to make an example to show people to fear them. Well, guess what? Hello, I don't fear them. Fear me. Knoxville says, fear me. You didn't get many votes. Well, does it look like I'm afraid? Check your ballot when you go in there. My name's still on there. Even if you don't check it, it's on there. That's your rule. That's not mine. No matter how low in the vote count you all beat me down, the truth will rise. And the truth is rising again today with truth. Charles Van Morgan rising all over the world. 2.3 million people that we have reached in the past 6 months. We'll try to double that by November. Double and triple it. Help me do that. Share, like, subscribe, comment. So we're in a courtroom. Remember, get back to my little story, my little ditty. It ain't about Jack and Diane. It's about you, Tennesseans. And it's about people in other states. You need to rise up a movement. This is a volunteer state. We'll start it here, fighting the establishment, refuting the status quo because it doesn't work for you. Now, they say it does. They say it does. Do you believe them? They lie, lie, lie. So we're in a courtroom. And this trained legal expert, according to them, have passed the bar twice, that doesn't have a law license because they don't like the law. Lawyers don't like the law. They like to lie, and they lie a lot. Not all of them, but we're in a courtroom, and I'm Charles Van Morgan. I am on the front lines, and I am. Now listen to this. This is real good. You'll want to hear this because this is what I'm doing. This is pretty much the finality of this little story. I'll tell you what I'm doing. Why we're here. I'll tell you. So look at the welcome sign. Thank y'all very much for coming. So let's see how many people got in here. A few. So why are we doing this? So you have the defendant in the courtroom, everybody against him, judge and everybody, and they're all in cahoots, fools and lapdogs in cahoots, backing up the power, backing up the political establishment that's taking care of them, their family. And your defense attorney is a double agent. He works for the state. Did y'all know that the defense attorney is an officer of the court? I mean, he's obligated to them. They have his livelihood in their pocket. And they don't deal out law license in the state of Tennessee due to merit. Example right here. They deal out law license in Tennessee due to loyalty to the crooked establishment. No, thank you. No, thank you. I got to stand before God someday. And I think that Tennesseans will rise up and we will be the establishment and you will be in jail if I have it my way. And we're trying to make it that way. We're on a path to do that. I'm not all talk. I'm all action. The trigger's been pulled symbolically and it's headed your way, judges in Tennessee, some of y'all, and some of y'all public officials, symbolically, not literally, but the truthful bullet is going to clobber you. It's a coming. You say, but Van, we've already did this and this to you. Well, that's your scoreboard. I say we're winning because I'm a fighter. We don't quit. They don't understand. They don't get it. They really don't get it. You fight evil. You don't kowtow to it. You don't kiss the ring. You be the ring and make them kiss you. And if they can, while we put them in jail, I mean, we're winning the fight. We're winning just by being in the fight. We're winning because going along with the status quo will get you in jail. 2,500 people is a small tip of the iceberg compared to what's really the public corruption in Tennessee. They put 2,500 people in jail that they even deny were wrongfully arrested, although they have no drugs or alcohol in their system, and they try to lie out of it by their false propaganda. They falsely allege that TBI only tests for a certain amount of drugs, so they could have had drugs that they didn't test for. Well, then test for that other drug if you think they're guilty. You're taking their rights away from them. You're taking their freedom away from them. You already have. You put them in jail. You prove your case if you have one, or you shouldn't have arrested them in the first damn place. There's all kinds of things you could have done. Put them in the hospital if you think that they're in a medical state. Call a friend or family. Put them in a safe place. Take them to a homeless shelter. Have them a ride home. But they arrested 2,500 innocent people, and they say, well, they don't test for all the drugs. And this is just a small sample of the people that we know about. What about the hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people in Tennessee that they arrested that don't have the blood evidence in other crimes, rape, robbery, murder, that people go to jail for the rest of their life or are on death row for now? The extent of the problem is 10 times worse than what you think. Charles Van Morgan, I'm here to help you. Please listen, not for my good. This puts me in danger. For your good. This is my calling, my forte. While I'm perfectly happy to do this, this is what I do. I do need your help. We don't win elections just based on my people's votes. We win elections The Colonel, Matt Perry, who doesn't have a law degree, doesn't have any education, any emergency management training. He's got training in how to follow a dictatorship from their little single training where he got paid to go through training. Wouldn't you love to get training and have the government pay for it while you're on the clock too? That's what they do. And they get training in how to honor the brass, how to kiss the brass, how to honor the upper echelon. They don't get trained on how to protect society. That's not in their little clique. That's not in their little band of government officials. Their training is how to maintain power over you. I have a doctor of jurisprudence. That's the Constitution. That's what our forefathers wrote to protect you. And I also have an advanced degree in sociology. I know how to do it. And this is how you do it. So I would ask for your support, your help. Subscribe, like, and share. Let everybody know this is a real live movement that's really moving, that's really going, that can really take off and help the mass populace of Tennesseans. I'm not a company man. Does it sound like I'm a company man? I'm trying to take a wrecking ball to the company because the company is dangerous to you. And I'll explain how it's dangerous. I'm spelling out the facts. I'm a prosecutor. And this is the story. And we'll tell you about the false arrest, how that's just a drop in the bucket. But this is the story that I'm finishing. And here's the story. Imagine a prosecutor in the courtroom. And this is Charles Van Morgan. I'm a prosecutor for you, the mass populace of people. I'm your prosecutor. Hello, thank you very much for appointing me to this position. We got 25 signatures and a whole lot more that signed the petition to get me on the ballot. A lot of Knoxvillians signed a petition to get me on the ballot to prosecute people in government power for you, to stand, hold the line, to defend you against them. Imagine, if you will, a criminal defendant, and you're the criminal defendant, mass populace of Tennesseans. You're the ones that are being persecuted. You're the ones. Yeah. You got to get a beer truck. You're the ones being persecuted. You're the ones being persecuted. And you are the ones who are being demonized and mistreated by the mass populace of people in the state of Tennessee. And imagine that you're the defendant in their courtroom and I'm your attorney. And instead of doing it their way and defending you, what we're going to do is we got another rule book. Their rule book, you'll go to jail every time. You always do. The rule book that we have, is to prosecute the judge, prosecute the prosecutor. And if we have to, I hate to say it, we'll prosecute the jury. We'll annihilate the system because it doesn't work. It doesn't work for you. They got it rigged. They got the jury rigged. They picked the jury. They picked the judge. They got the handcuffs on you and they're free to break every constitutional rule known to man. They do all the time. We're going to show you what they do. So that's the story. We're your prosecutor, standing between you and complete demise of the public. So we got a bunch of UT students sent here and we'll go down to the edge of the bridge and present our case to you. Thank you all so very much for joining. Like, share, and comment. So yeah, we got... So yeah, they're probably some of them going to have some school of how to rip people off. He's got his name on the side of the building. I got my name on a degree that's completely worthless because of him. He's made my degree worthless. He doesn't have one from UT. He acts like UT. Yes, UT. He doesn't have a degree from there. I've got a degree from there that he made useless because he's a thug. He's a criminal. He's a crook. He got his money by exploiting you. And so we're prosecuting the prosecutors. We're prosecuting the judge. We'll prosecute some of the jury if it comes down to it. The jury sometimes isn't legitimate. Sometimes they lie to get on the jury. Sometimes they defraud. Sometimes they're handpicked by the judge because they know that they'll put you in jail for something you didn't do. That's the truth. Unheard of. You hear this? That's the truth. It's all rigged in their favor all the time. They do whatever they want. The Constitution doesn't matter. They stomp on the blood of soldiers. Stomp on the blood of soldiers every single day. And that is so very wrong and needs to be stopped for your good. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm going to do. Hello, Charles Van Morgan, the prosecutor for you. And you're not on trial. They think you are. Mass populace Tennesseans, let's get off their trial. Let's get out of the defendant's seat. Let's prosecute them. There's more of us. We write the rules. It's our government. It's our state. Their rules ain't working. They'll have you put in jail, 2,500, and there's thousands more under different circumstances that are in jail now that didn't do anything. That's the stakes. The stakes are health care, our children, our elderly. The stakes are your future, making your degrees and your hard work and effort matter for you, not for them. They got it rigged. It all goes to them. The mob bosses, Republicans and Democrats is their true name. Their code name is Republican and Democrat. So look at the beautiful view. We're going to present the evidence and hang on board. Let's prosecute the prosecutors. Let's prosecute the judge and jury. That's what we're going to do. And unheard of, writing a new rule book. It's called your rule book, your constitution, your government, your right, not theirs. They have no right to do what they're doing. We're going to show you what they're doing. So hang on board here. Beautiful view. And there's the crooked courthouse in the state of Tennessee. And if you're the prosecutor, then you're responsible for those people who are in jail unlawfully, which looks like dope through drunk eyes. Okay, you're part of the problem. So wow. See, I told you some people couldn't get the concept that I'm the prosecutor for the people that are in jail. How can I be part of the problem? We're prosecuting to get them out. And that's what we're doing now. So some of y'all are just lost, I guess. The mass people in here, thank you. You understand that concept. We're the prosecutor for you right now in real time, right here, real live, really on the bridge. It's beautiful scenery. Really prosecuting the state for you too. Millions of people over the last few months. They hate that. Like to shut her down. Shut her down. She's sucking mud is what they say. We're going to make them suck mud. We're going to give them what they asked for. A little Tennessee justice, according to the Constitution of the United States of America that soldiers are fighting for. They're literally stomping on the blood of soldiers in that dirty courtroom right there that fought for constitutional rights. It's all rigged. It's all wrong. It's all set up, all for them. And they stomp on you. 2,500 people that we know of falsely put in jail. They claim, well, they might have had other drugs. If they did test for it, you did something serious. You took these people's rights away. Or once you just admit the truth, they were falsely arrested, let them go, apologize, and pay them for their damages. That'd be the right, justified thing to do. They're not doing that. I'm speaking to you, all you mass Tennesseans that got arrested wrongfully. I'm on your team. I'm not on their team. I did what they did. I know how to do it. That didn't happen with me. They were dangerous people. While they were arresting you, there's a dangerous drunk on the road. So, the colonel says in those 2,500 people, if you think you'll set this out, 8 million people in Tennessee, brag on the brass and it'll be all right. Drive down the road to go to work and look how dangerous it is. Or be somewhere at the right place at the right time and they stick you with a crime because they need somebody to go to jail to make themselves look good. or because you pissed them off and they frame you. And I'm going to show you they do that every day with facts and evidence all day long in the Tennessee courtroom. They're crooked as hell. A lot of judges are on my side. They wish I would clean up this public corruption in the state of Tennessee. They want somebody to fight for Tennesseans. They would love for me to come in a courtroom and present a case for you against the government because they're tired of the dirty that goes on and nobody stand up for right and there's nothing they can do about it, or the judge would get put in jail. A righteous judge would get put in jail in Tennessee right now by the corrupt, dirty judiciary in the state of Tennessee. They rig elections. They've literally taken sheriffs that have won elections and wiped out the election of the people. And we need to get in power, and we need to bring a lot of people with us to straighten out this public corruption. So the colonel said about those 2,500 people that none have made it up to me. And he said they all have indicators that they're intoxicated. We're talking about 2,500 people in the past few years that went to jail that we know of that were obviously falsely arrested. Take one or two of them out that might have had something that they didn't test, but that's highly unlikely and very odd case. So 24,998 people falsely arrested. 4,000, 2,500, 2,498. Okay, and he won't even admit to that. Some of them, there might have been two that had other drugs they didn't test for. And he won't even admit to that. He says that all of them had indicators that they were intoxicated. Wow. You do one thing that appears like that you're intoxicated. I mean, that's a high standard for you. You could say walking down the sidewalk appears like somebody's intoxicated because it looked like they didn't have anywhere to go, even though they knew that they were. But you could make a case out of that somebody's in public intoxicated because they were walking down the sidewalk, and it appeared like to you they didn't know where they were going because they weren't going anywhere except for in a straight line, and you didn't know where they were going, so you thought they were intoxicated. I mean, you could make any argument to try to prove anything to say that's an indicator. If that's what you want to do to maintain power and prove a lie, which is what they do, they prove a lie. But they're not proving anything. They're just perpetrating lies, maintaining their power, keeping themselves in power, and we need to bust this dirty government all to freaking hell. And if you want that done, I'm on the ballot. That's one front. We're on the front of suing them in federal court over trying to get my law license so that I can represent you in a courtroom. And we are here on this page getting the message out, getting it out of the box. They might control Tennessee, and they do. They got a tight grip on Tennessee. They got you by the neck. They're kicking you down, got their boot on your head here in Tennessee. But we got it out of the box. They don't have California. They don't have New York. New York's got another boot on their head. They don't have North and South Carolina. They don't own UK. And thank you, UK, for listening. There's a lot of people in here from the UK. They don't own the world. They don't own the mass populace of people in the world. They're not God. And we can beat them. And we're getting it out of the box. We're getting a message. We're getting a message outside their little corrupt Tennessee hellhole, which is exactly what it is right now under them. So we got this YouTube channel broadcasts more than some local news channels. We've had 57,000 people on here numerous times, which is more output than some of the local news channels get out. So we're getting a very valuable message out to Tennesseans in multiple fronts. On the governor's ballot, been on other ballots, advancing the cause, not playing by their rule book. You got low votes, yeah, that time I did. Let's see what happens this time, maybe the next one. And in civil court, pro se, got a law degree, I know how to do it. Hopefully the courts will adjudicate correctly, and with the YouTube channel, getting the message outside the box, outside the crooked state of of Tennessee and try to beat these thugs with the truth on several fronts. Also have if you have inside information, I've got a lot, then email me at charlesvanmorgan@gmail.com. You can do it anonymously. I'll put a link up to an anonymous survey that you can put any information on there you want to, trying to find out information truthful that will advance the cause of pointing out public corruption and fighting for the mass population of Tennesseans. 5 million of y'all didn't vote in the last election, and that is more than enough. Only 20% of those, about 23%, we'll show you later, to win the governor's race. So the Tennessee Supreme Court, lapdogs for the people in power, and like Colorado. If you don't think the Supreme Courts can go rogue, look at Colorado. In Colorado, just a few months ago, they ruled that a sitting governor candidate was not allowed on the ballot. That a sitting federal candidate was not allowed on the ballot in Supreme Court. Ruled 4-3. Ruled 4-3 that a candidate for president wasn't allowed on the Colorado Supreme Court, that wasn't allowed on the ballot in the Supreme Court. In December 2023, the Colorado Supreme Court ruled 4-3 that Trump was ineligible for the ballot under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Their instructions called students' actions relate to January 6, 2021, the Capitol attack. You know, completely bogus. A state should not control every other state in the United States. That's a farce, a fraud. A Democrat state that wanted to affect the election for the whole country. Wow, how bogus is that? Voted 4-3. So we had 4 rogue Colorado Supreme Court justices, obviously dirty lapdog judges, ruling for the Democratic Party, for those power elite in Colorado. So we know for a fact that state courts can turn rogue, can turn evil. Tennessee, turn rogue, turn evil. The Tennessee Judiciary. Nobody says that. It's very obvious. You look at on March 24th, 2024, the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously, that means all of them, even Democrat-leaning judges, all of them unanimously overturned the Colorado Supreme Court. I mean, it wasn't even an argument. Every one of them agreed. You can't control the whole country. You rogue, dirty 4 justices in the Colorado Supreme Court. It wouldn't matter if it's a Democrat that they, in another state, that they took off the ballot in a Republican state. The fact remains, that's a court gone rogue. No argument in the United States Supreme Court. They ruled unanimously in favor of the court ruled 4-3, and then unanimously, you see 4-3, and then unanimously they ruled that March 24th, the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously reversed Colorado Supreme Court. So there's no argument. So that's a rogue, dirty court decision. Dirty as hell. Shouldn't have ruled that. Shouldn't have ruled that the Trump shouldn't be on the ballot. Wrong decision. Crooked as hell. That's Supreme Court in the state. The Tennessee Supreme Court. Crooked as hell. Rogue, I think, for the most part. And I think we ought to vote him out of office. So it's not a novel thing that a state Supreme Court will make a wrong decision, and the floor will make wrong decisions that are unconstitutional, unanimous by the Supreme Court of the United States of America, trying to control the federal elections. Wow. And Tennessee does the same thing. So there's just one example of a Tennessee Supreme Court, of a court that adjudicates wrongly. So here's the odds. If we can wake up enough people, we can wake up enough people in the state of Tennessee to realize that I'm on your team, that I'm prosecuting the state. You're not the defendant in my courtroom. You're not the defendant in the state of Tennessee under our regime, under our government. You're not the defendant in their courtroom, under their power. Under their power, under their courts. You're the defendant in their courtroom. 2,500, that's a drop in the bucket. The colonel said they didn't make it up to all of them had indicators. You can make up any indicator you want. The Supreme Court in Tennessee can do anything you want. And there's a reason why he's allowed to say whatever he wants. Colonel Matt Perry, because his aunt is the former Supreme Court justice that campaigned for him to be colonel. She didn't campaign for him to be colonel because he's protecting you to maintain their little elite power, their happy little bloodline family in the state of Tennessee that rules for them, that lets them arrest you wrongly. So here's the numbers. Here's the numbers that we can win. Registered non-voters eligible but unregistered, 60%. Percent of each voter group needs to pass Bill E, 39%. So all we need of this group of people is 23.8%. 23.8% of this group of people. It's a huge group. We can get 20% anywhere in here, anywhere. We can get 20% of people that didn't register. We can get 20% of people that registered but didn't vote. That's all we need, 23.8%. And that's counting if we don't flip some of the people that voted, some of the million people that voted for the dictatorship, for the little clique, for the power mongers, for people that are in power, that lie to you, that demoralize and sanction people that run against them, that don't have a free and fair election, don't want a free and fair election. If we get 23.8% of the people that didn't register or were registered and didn't vote, we win this election by a landslide. That's all we need. And we beat the corrupt judiciary in the state of Tennessee. The ruling was unanimous, 9-0 in an outcome that the United States Supreme Court said, Colorado Supreme Court, in so many words, my interpretation is, you're a rogue court. 4 of y'all aren't following the law and the rules and the Constitution. Get off our planet, get out of our judiciary, I think. Tennessee's the same way. Tennessee's worse than that. So 9-0 outcome, although some justices differed on their legal reasoning, with 4 Justices Sidemar, Kenya Jackson, and Burnett suggesting the opinion should have more limited scope. So 9-0 ruled against the the Colorado Road Court. Said that they were rogue. The courts are lapdogs for the parties. So I'm going to read you a little poem about me, though, why we're doing this. I just told you one reason, prosecuting the prosecutors, prosecuting the judge, prosecuting the prosecutor, prosecuting some of the jurors. You're bought and paid for. Some of the voters, you're bought and paid for. You're voting for the other side because you get a benefit. That's wrong. You ought to vote for a candidate that will protect your rights and the rights of your fellow voters' rights, which you don't do when you get a benefit that you don't deserve. So we'll prosecute the jury. Hey, you say that's not a way way to win an election? Well, yeah, it is. You can win an election by being stone cold honest, by fighting with real truth. Because there's more of us. I just showed you the numbers. We don't need those crooked voters. It wouldn't matter what I said. They wouldn't vote the truth anyway. They're getting a benefit. And I'm going to benefit all Tennesseans. We're going to wreck their little corrupt courts. Scared me. We're gonna wreck their little corrupt courts, and we're gonna fight them to hell and back, and we're gonna win. So we don't need the corrupt juries voters. We're gonna prosecute part of the jury, part of the voters. That's what needs to be done. That's the truth. The truth has weight and value. We don't need their votes. They're not going to vote for us anyway. They got a promise of something before they even vote, which is not ethical, not right, not moral. And it'll be all right. We'll prosecute part of the jury. There's enough voters on the jury that are for the mass populace. I show you we outnumber them. We're going to prosecute the judge. This is our rule book. We're not playing by their rules. I don't care about their rules. Their rules ain't going to work. They've had their rules going on for years and years and years. Has it worked? No, it doesn't work. We got a new rule book. That's Charles Van Morgan, candidate for governor, litigator, been in their law schools, been in their war rooms, fighting for you. We got another rule book, a new way for you, and prosecute the judge, the dirty, lying, crooked, thief, lapdog judge, just like in Colorado, state Tennessee, we're prosecuting him. In our courtroom, you're not the defendant. You're on our team. We're prosecuting them. You're not going to jail. Don't worry about it. They are. That's what we're going to do to some of them. We're for you. It's your government. You put them in jail. They don't put you in jail for not doing anything wrong, being a nice, honest citizen, and that's what they're doing. It's a new rule book, a new day that they got hell to pay, and they're going to pay it. And we're going to make them pay up. They've done this far too long, far too wicked, far too corrupt. Instead of you sitting there being the defendant, us defending you, you're on the prosecutor side. Don't worry about nothing. We're prosecuting them. They're going down, prosecuting the prosecutor. Well, imagine that. No. Don't worry, my client ain't going to jail, prosecutor. You're wasting your time. You need to start defending yourself. We're going after you. My defendant ain't even... Love that flag flying behind that fire engine. My client is not a defendant. His life ain't on the line anymore, prosecutor. He's free to go, free to stay. He's a free citizen. You are for mistreating him, for trying to put him on the line. You're the one we'll prosecute. You better start defending yourself. You're going, not them. You're in danger, not them anymore. Not in violent danger, in danger of going to jail. So that's my calling. That's what I do. They say I'm bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm a fighter. That's what I do. And here's my little poem I want to read you. And I'm going to read a poem by Mr. Donald J. Trump. Let's have a little entertainment in this section to entertain the jury. Got to be pleasant and get the mass populace on my side. So, as the bell rings, we read this song. The Angel of the Night by Lieutenant Dave Grossman, who's a warrior, talks about sheepdogs. It's a short, free verse piece often cited in military and law enforcement communities to describe the role of the sheepdog or protector. That'd be me. Thank you, Lieutenant Dave Grossman. Studied some of his work. I concur. I am a sheepdog, a protector of people. That's what I do and enjoy doing it. Fear not the night. Fear that which walks the night. And I am that which walks the night. But only evil need fear me, and gentle souls sleep safe in their beds because I walk the night. So that's Lieutenant Dave Grossman, a retired Army Ranger, who writes a book. It's called On Killing. Now, this isn't a war of murder, of killing. Killing in war is not murder, but of killing the enemy. This is a nonviolent, peaceful means to get out messaging to justifiably, legally prosecute the enemy. I'm a trained lawyer, albeit unlicensed by the corrupt people in power. And that's what I'm doing. I'm prosecuting them. That's my point. Fear not the night, or fear that which walks the night. That'd be me. That'd be us, mass Tennesseans. And I am that which walks the night. But only evil, people in government power, there's a small group of them, need fear me. And us and you, and gentle souls, you can sleep safe in your beds because I walk the night. That's what I'm out here for. And let's read this little poem. Mr. Trump likes to read this little poem in his speech. It's got him all the way to the White House. Maybe these poems, which are very truthful, that's the why. I'm that which walks the night, walk in their darkness to annihilate their corruption. So here is the poem that the president used to say, got him all the way to the White House. Maybe that poem will get me all the way to the governor's mansion, or maybe that poem will get me to annihilate some of the evil wickedness that goes on in Tennessee courtrooms. Light dogs. So here's the poem that if you think you're going to sit this one out, everything will be okay. Only 2,500 of the people are the people that were falsely arrested, and they had indicators should have went, and you believe the colonel who's related to the former Supreme Court justice who got his position, not because he knows how to protect you, but he knows how to protect that little circle of violence and destruction that cost you Tennesseans their lives. Doesn't know how to protect you. I know how to protect you. They need to fear me. That's how we protect you, by pointing out the truth about them. So here's the poem. Maybe I'll make it all the way to the governor's office reading these poems. So here, on her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with dew. "Oh well," she cried, "I'll take you in, like we're doing, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me, keep voting for me, Tennessean. Keep voting for me. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman," sighed the broken snake, sighed the broken government in the state of Tennessee. That's all for them. She wrapped him up all cozy in a coverture of silk. She went to the booth and voted for them again and again, and then laid him by the fireside with some honey and some milk. And boy, they're sitting with honey and milk. It's your honey and your milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found the pretty snake she had taken had been revived. Take me in, oh Tennessee. Take me in again. I'm Governor Bill Lee, a Christian man, and I got people I want you to vote for too. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the broken snake, the dirty, crooked Tennessee lapdog judiciary. Vote for us again. I've stood up against them to their face in public. I ain't taking them in. I'll stomp on that damn snake, crack its nasty head. Look at a video. I've done that in person. I'm not out to get elected by the power elite. I'm fighting the power elite. I'm not out to get elected by the snake. I'm stomping on the snake. I'm chopping its ugly head off. Symbolically, TBI. Symbolically. You're good. I mean, these people, wow, they're so stupid. Take me in, oh tender woman. Sighed the broken snake. Now she clutched him in her bosom, not me. You're going to do this, Tennessee? Please help me. You can do it. You can do it for your own good. You're trying to, don't do that. Don't do that, woman. Don't do that. I'm telling you, Tennesseans, don't do that. Please don't do that. It's not going to work out well for you. Take me in, oh tender woman. Don't. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Yeah. Take me in, oh tender Tennessee. Some of them signed the broken Bill Lee. and Tennessee government, Marsha Blackburn you. Now she clutched him in her bosom. It's going to go bad. It's going to go south. I promise you. Sighed the broken snake. Let's see. Now she clutched him in her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. Yeah, beautiful government. They tell you they are, don't they? But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you certainly might have died. Yeah, they'd have fell over with their crookedness. She stroked his pretty skin and voted for him again and again, and then she kissed and held him tight. That's dangerous, Tennessee. Don't do that. I implore you. Not for my good, for yours. I stomped on the snake's head. I keep a stomp, and I know what I'm doing, and I'm doing good for you. Like, share, comment, get this message out. But instead of, she stroked his pretty skin, and then she kissed and held him tight. Boy, she loves up on him good, don't she? But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. 2,500, more than that. Vicious. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. Don't let that snake bite you. Let's don't do this again and again. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake, the vicious Tennessee judiciary, the vicious Tennessee dirty government. The very few, it's only a small group of people, one damn snake. I stomp on it every day. It ain't gonna bite me. Don't let it bite you. Let me protect you. I will, I assure you. My calling in life, my forte, it's a wonderful thing to be doing God's will. I saved you, cried the woman. I voted for you. And you bit me even. Heavens, why? You knew your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Yeah, they know. They don't care. I don't care. I care. I care. I protected you more than any trooper in the state. I've got a history. Now they lie about it. They're a vicious snake. Tried to bite me. Want me to go along with the program? No, hell no. I won't go. I stick to the truth. It matters. You won't bite me. I won't let you get close enough. I'll stomp your ugly, dirty, nasty, sick head off. Oh, shut up, silly woman. This is Governor Bill Lee, Marsha Blackburn you, all the other candidates. Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. You know damn well the government's crooked as hell when you keep voting for them dirty snakes. Try something new, Charles Van Morgan. I'm not a snake. I'm a peacemaker for you, and the way you make peace is through strength. Right now, we got to drop the bombs, and that's what we're doing. We're prosecuting the prosecutors, the judges, and some of the jury, and you're not even on trial. Your life's not at risk. It's theirs. It's theirs. We're going to put them in jail. We're going to cut the snake's head off. They won't give you due process. Due process is not just a phrase. It's a fundamental constitutional guarantee. A politically compromised judge, which they all are, for the most part, cannot provide due process. Every ruling they make under these conditions is constitutionally tainted. Now, I've just told you how Colorado, Tennessee Supreme Court, got rogue people in there. Well, stuff obviously unanimously wrong by the highest court in the land. They check the box. They give you alleged due process. They let you come in to the courtroom, drag you in, but they're not listening to what you're saying. They don't give a damn what you're saying. They're checking that box. We gave him due process. He showed up. We wouldn't let him finish his sentence. They're not going to listen to what you say. They're dirty as hell. They put on a robe every morning and pretend to be impartial. But at night they know who put them there and what's expected. Until we break the chain between political parties and the judiciary, none of us, not one Tennessean, can walk into a courtroom and expect not to get bit by the snake. And expect equal justice under the law. That's why this race for governor matters. That's why this channel matters. Whether or not we win the governor's race or not, we're taking ground. We're saving a few from getting bit by the dirty snake, exposing their crooked court rulings. That's why I'm running. To stomp on the snake. You know damn well that it's a poisonous snake. Stop voting for it. That's why I'm running, and that's why they don't want me to win. That's why they're trying to bite me. I don't buy a word of it. And you shouldn't either. You should not either. So tomorrow, we're going to tell you how this corrupt system works for them and doesn't work for you. We're going to talk about the Tennessee Judiciary in the state of Tennessee. Point out some evidence. They care about foreigners, not Tennesseans. Protect yourself and all Tennesseans from rogue Tennessee injustices. Vote no in 2030 Tennessee Supreme retention and oust the next governor. Don't keep voting for Republicans. So tomorrow we'll continue the dialogue about the dirty Tennessee judiciary, probably, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, and tell you how all this stuff is done behind closed doors and done with winks and handshakes and knowledge from a sociological perspective, how they get in power lying to you. So thank y'all so very much for joining us. We'll show you the beautiful view. Tune in tomorrow. Like, subscribe to the channel. Help us get this message out about the rogue judiciary. And we'll keep prosecuting them. We got some real interesting information we'll cover tomorrow about lies in black and white from the judiciary. And trying to be on here maybe 6:45, maybe a little earlier. Thank you all for joining us. We're fighting. We're on the governor's ballot, getting headway. We may damn well win it. We are in federal court trying to get justice, to get my law license to defend you in their courtrooms. We're on this YouTube channel with 2.3 million people just passed that yesterday. So we're getting a message out outside this crooked box of Tennessee. We have I'll put the link on here where if you have any inside information, I'm getting it every day from people telling me inside information about how the state government is crooked as hell. And if you're in state government now, don't worry, I'm not going to take your jobs away from you. It's not your fault you got a crooked boss. Your crooked boss might have gave you your job. I understand that loyalty. But the loyalty is misplaced. You would have got your job anyway, probably. And we're not going to take your jobs away. And you'll probably get more pay and more money because we're going to stop paying the snake more money and it'll trickle down to you. So if you're in government power now, just a cog in the wheel, don't worry, we're not taking your jobs away. We're out for you too because you're not getting a fair shake. Even if your boss hired you, he's still not treating you right if he's in power in Tennessee. You ought to get a lot more money. Our school teachers ought to get a lot more money. So I'm appealing to the populace. So we'll put that link where you can give us any information that you want to that will help us win this government office. That'll help us advance this cause of protecting all Tennesseans. This is unbridled news. That's what we do. That's what I'm here for. That's my calling, my forte. Join this calling that is blessed by God. Our first weapon is prayer, but we got many other ones. So I'll put the link. If you got any information that will help the campaign, do it. Put it on there, or help the movement. A government that serves you, that works for you, which is what we can accomplish. And on our scoreboard, on theirs. And also, call your neighbors and call your friends. Friends calling friends beats bought elections. Friends calling friends beats their little clique. So get the message out. Spread the message. Friends calling friends will beat their money. They only have 1 million votes, status quo. And if we can get the message to some of those millions, they'll flip their votes to us. We have 5 million people that didn't vote either because they weren't registered, they're eligible to register, or because they were registered and didn't participate because they didn't think they'd make a difference. because they didn't know. Well, let me inform you. So we have a huge masses of people that if we can wake them up, and you need to wake them up, you need to call, ask them, hey, vote for Charles Van Morgan. Advance this movement. It's a movement for you. He's going to listen to us. He's going to meet us in cities, listen to what we got to say. And then go to Nashville and get rid of these people that are in our way, that are putting us in jail, that are violating our rights. He's going to put us on the judiciary. He's going to put us in top leadership positions. He's going to represent us. And there's more of us, and we can beat them hands down if we can wake up people. So help me wake people up. Contribute if you can. And we're going to be on the governor's ballot. They called yesterday, got enough signatures. That's one front. The other front is having you all wake people up. Send us messages. Let us know inside what's going on. Thank you all so very much for listening. As I always try to say, that God loves you, and I do too. And I'll add, they're a dirty snake that wants to bite you. Tomorrow we will continue prosecuting. We will continue prosecuting the prosecutors, fighting the dirty liars in state power, bringing a case against people in power, and their lives are on the line. Their livelihood is going to be in question. Right now, before we get in office, we're challenging them, and after we get in office, some of them are going to go to jail. Your life's not even on the line in our rule book. You're not a defendant in a courtroom under our rules. These creeps in power are. So tomorrow we'll continue prosecuting the prosecutors, prosecuting the judge, and prosecuting some of the voters, some of the jury that are only voting for the establishment because they get unlawful, unjustified positions that they shouldn't get. So we'll give you some black and white, some real important, cool information, black and white, prosecuting the prosecutors. Thank you all so very much for joining. We'll show you this beautiful view. Spread the message, and God loves you, and I do too. Thank you all.